just to make sure everybody makes it over okay.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go ahead and hit that share screen button like you said.
Awesome.
All right. And we're recording. Very good. So this is different. We came over to Google Meet today, and we're still going to make this happen. Awesome. We have our greatest and latest MuleSoft Integration Quest study group, where we've got Digital D, Diane, today. She is going to be presenting on, as you can see, the vibe coding. We're going to be using MuleSoft Vibes. She's going to be in Anypoint Code Builder and showing us how Vibes can get that done and save us some time, and get to work for you and bring in a flow real quickly. So I appreciate you doing this. We weren't even going to have a study group today. We had some scheduling conflicts and we had actually postponed, and we're just going to take a break today, and Digital D came to the rescue. She said, nope, I got an idea. Let's do this. So here we are, we're doing it. Thank you so much for doing that today and for being here. So we'll go ahead and go through a few things real quick before we turn it over to her. We've got the integration quest, code of conduct. Everybody's been doing awesome, and I really appreciate it. They've been following the rules. We had somebody in the chat back over in Kajabi was actually asking about the study group and how it all works. And I was explaining this to them. Jade, if you made it over here, here is the link that I was telling you about. This is the library. This is the archives of videos and study groups that we've done. It's awesome. Go out there if you are studying up on something or needing to know about something related to MuleSoft, Salesforce, anything. We've done a lot of different things throughout all of time. And like I was telling you over in Kajabi, if you ever see something and it's like an older video and things have changed, let us know. We'll bring it up to speed. We'll do a new study group on it and get new standards brought out, and we'll all talk about it, and it'll be awesome. So just let us know. And if anything helps you, leave a comment. I love seeing the comments. We've got a new subscriber over there just 3 days ago. Glad to have you. Thank you for joining us. Like I said,
you're not sharing your screen. I don't know if I can't see it.
Oh, okay. All right.
It may have bumped it out. Yeah. Anyone else seeing RJ's screen? Okay.
It was, let me try it again. We were sharing for a minute there. Let's go back. Google Meets and Kajabi may have been fighting with each other because I think I was still sharing in Kajabi as well. How are we looking now? Can you see that?
Looking good. Yep.
Okay, good deal. So like I was saying, we've got Diane here today, and if you didn't see those links, let me try to go back really quick, and I'll show you those links back here. There's those links in case you didn't see those when I was talking about that, and I'll drop them in the chat if anybody needs them. Just let me know. Here is Digital D. A lot of different credentials, a lot of different certificates, and a lot of training. And she's been doing this for a really long time. And like I'm always saying, it's not just about all of that. It's about the fact that she's willing to come and share with us today and participate and give this expertise and experience back to us. And she's learning as well. And we're all learning together. So I'm going to stop sharing and let her do that very thing. So that way we can learn together. I'll keep an eye on the chat like I always do. So if anybody has questions as we're moving along, let me know and drop them in the chat. And we won't even have to do the virtual like hand raise, me popping on camera. We actually have emojis in here. So if you have a question, put your hand up and she'll answer them as we go. Okay.
Sounds great, RJ. Thank you. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, looking great. I see it.
Awesome. All right. Well, are we not overcomers? I'm going to come on camera for just a minute. All right. So I'm on a cruise ship and the internet is not 100%. If I disappear, I will come back as soon as I can. If not, I'll shoot RJ a private message through Facebook to say the Wi-Fi died. But we're out at sea in the middle of the Caribbean right now, on our way back home, coming home tomorrow anyway, or coming home Sunday. But nonetheless, this has been a passion and an excitement with Vibes, and the MuleSoft community has asked us to continue really sharing as much as we can about this and having a blast doing it. So I wanted to really go ahead and bring in what we recently did in Atlanta, Georgia for getting started with Vibes, and it also includes getting started with Anypoint Code Builder. So I'm going to come off camera now to minimize my bandwidth. So I'll be watching also. If I start to break up or anything like that, let me know. So MuleSoft Vibes is your AI coding partner. All right. So how many times have you had someone that you like to code with? I do. That's happened a couple of times where we'll tag team and do coding together. So this is kind of going to be along those lines, Vibes and having an AI component, which is what Vibes is, by the way, is not about replacing you as a developer. It's about leveling you up to free you up and help you do things faster, help you debug smarter. How many times do we go in and we're debugging something and we're like, man, what the heck is going on here? And you can really use this tool to understand what's happening, and get you pointed in the right direction. You can even ask it to fix your code. I mean, it's just really very cool. Anyway, better testing also. So it really gives us a lot of ability. So your AI partner also with data weave, folks, let me tell you, it's pretty comprehensive on that, building out Mule flows and also MUnit tests. So yeah, this does it all. That's Vibes. That's what Vibes is going to provide for us. So as we go forward, here's our quick agenda. And hopefully you already set up Anypoint Code Builder. There was a video shared out earlier on setting up Anypoint Code Builder, and RJ will pop that in the chat for you. There's a video as well as some instructions, step-by-step instructions. If not, if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, it's okay. This is going to be recorded, and you have no doubt, Suma just put in the chat, already loving it. Moment I heard MUnit, no doubt, yeah. And wait till you see it in action. It's way cool. So, so if you didn't get a chance to install Anypoint Code Builder, don't freak out. It's okay. Just go into observation mode. And I know there's someone in the room that I'm so glad to see you here. And they were mentioning they weren't quite ready. I'm like, just come watch. Just come watch. It's okay. You know who you are. I'm not going to call you out, but nonetheless. Our next step will be to integrate Salesforce and Anypoint platform. And so in that phase, we're going to really see how and why Vibes will work, because we are giving it the Anypoint platform connectivity to Salesforce, so that it has that AI additional feature to it. So there's other things that is going to also provide for us. I'll share that later, okay? Which would be another study group hands-on keyboard. We'll log into Anypoint Code Builder. That's going to activate Vibes, and then you're going to see it act in the plan mode, where we actually interact with the AI MCP server, telling it kind of what we want to do. It's going to ask us questions, so it has more clarity on what we're trying to build. And then you go into the act mode, and that's where it creates it. Okay, so I've been talking from a point of view of developers, but this is for all different roles: architects, admins, ops. MuleSoft Vibe is going to be our assistant and help us along the way. So it will, again, speed up many of our productivities, help us to troubleshoot, for architects, helping to build out our architectural design, looking and scanning at some of the assets that are within your Anypoint platform org, whether it's an agent, MCP server. You should see the demo on that, probably coming in the future. Our focus today is on what it does for developers. Now, in the developer category, that's what you're going to be building out and testing yourself. Then go over to the admins. This also helps us to, as an administrator, to provide consistency across your team, across your different environments, using the Vibes AI component for that, and ops, diagnosing issues, monitoring, and using the AI components for that. So pretty impressive of what's going on. There you go. Thank you, RJ. So our first order of business is to integrate Anypoint platform with a Salesforce org. Now, it can't just be any org, okay? We have to create a special entitled org. So what I want you to do is I want you to get logged into Anypoint platform, and you should have already done this. This is a trial account, so it's not anything special. It doesn't have any special entitlements. It's a trial account, a 30-day trial account. If you watch the video RJ just posted and you set up your Anypoint Code Builder, you'll already have this account. Okay, so that's step number one. Let's go ahead and open up another browser tab. And the reason I waited to do this where we're hands-on keyboard is because we want to choose the correct type of Salesforce account. All right, so coming also in the chat, let me find the chat, if I can find the chat, is we want to do developer.salesforce.com. And RJ, if you want to pop that in the chat for me, because I'm trying to find the chat.
All right, I sure will. It's a little like comment box thing down in the bottom right. I had to find it too. They've changed that recently. But yeah, I will. I'll throw that in there.
I'm not even seeing it here. In-call messages. Yeah, that's different. Okay. So here I got it. I gotta paste it right there.
Perfect.
Okay. All right. So this is what you want to make sure, because there are, like I said, there are other Salesforce orgs you can get for free, but you need to make sure you are using the developer one. Okay, so if you come up here to the top right, it says Browse Trials. And as we come down, Developer Edition, that's what you want, Developer Edition. Okay, so on the Developer Edition, we're going to click on Get a Developer Edition. And then your screen is going to look something like this. Okay, now this, if you look at the left, it's a fully entitled Salesforce org with Einstein, Agentforce, all of it. Okay, so that's what we're after. That's what we're after. So go ahead and just start filling this out. Okay, I'm going to do the company. Let me do, we'll call it Vibes Fun. Okay, and then the email is what you need to make sure you're using a unique email for this. And let me find one that I don't have. Hey, yeah, okay, I'll do that one. Yes, I hear somebody maybe asking a question. I heard a ding. Or am I hearing dings? Everything good?
Everything looks good here. It may have been
Okay.
a ding on your ship.
Shifting. Okay. So sign me up. Let's see if this one's going to work. Sign me up. And once you do, okay, great. It'll say, check your email. All right, so go out there. I'm going to just go ahead and bring it up here. And I'll move this over here so we can, so go check your email. Now this account does not expire, which is lovely, right? Because what that means is if you keep it active, you will have this account going forward to continue to test out with Vibes, but you have to log in. They started being really a little more strict on these accounts. So what I have found out is they actually shut down some of my others that I had, which is fine because I wasn't using them anyway. But what we want to do is make sure we keep it active if we're going to use it. And I'm glad I actually found one that was not an email that was not in use. Okay, so here we go. What you're going to get is this email. One second, I'm bringing it up. There we go. Okay, so you get an email that says reset your password. Now, right off the bat, copy your org and user info. Why? Because later when you're like, what was that username again? This is your username. Go ahead and get this copied and put it in a safe place so that you have it going forward to log back in. Okay, and the org is just helpful because you can launch that and go right into the Salesforce org. But let's click on the reset password. And for the reset password, we're just going to go ahead and you're going to put in a password that is something easy that you can remember. And mine's working on it, so let me get it there. Come on, you can do it. I hope you can't hear some of the background voices. Do you hear any of that? Or is sound
Not
canceling
really,
working?
no. It just, yeah, it came through for just a second, but sound canceling got you, so it's got you covered.
Okay. because in order to have a strong signal, I have to have my door pried open a little bit. Believe it or not, the door for the room is actually a blocker of Wi-Fi signal.
With a
All
trail
right.
of aluminum foil leading into your room.
If anything, this study group is going to be entertaining. So anyway, put your a password in. You can choose a security question that works for you, and then change your password, and go ahead and again jot that password down. Okay, so then you're going to be in a developer edition. Okay, developer edition. So yay, that should be achieved. Everyone okay with that? Give me a green, well, I can't say green check, but if anyone has any issues with that, let me know. I will halt. All right, looking good. Y'all are on it. Okay, so I'm going to back out of some of these. What I like to do is I like to go ahead and have, you don't have to do this, but honestly, I like to go ahead and have MuleSoft on one tab and Salesforce on the next tab. That's kind of how I like to roll. So I'm going to try to log in here and get these credentials logged in onto this new account here. Come on now. You can do it. If that takes too long, I will. There we go. All right, so let's get the new credentials here. All right. All right, so once you're on, like I said, I like to be on the same browser and go back and forth between the two of them. That seems to work out nicely. Let me get the password. Okay, so why are we doing this? This integration is necessary for Vibes to pull in the AI components. So once you have got your new credentials here, go ahead and log in. Oh my goodness. It's gonna make me do all that too. All righty. All right, 1 second, folks. Yeah, I don't want to do that one. Give me a second here. Come on. Almost there, almost there. Come on. I don't know why it's being a pest, but we shall see why. This should be working. Come on. Almost there. There we go. Okay, now it's doing what I need it to do. All right, so you will have to do a verification code logging in here. That's kind of something new that they're doing apparently. So check out your email and go ahead and get the email code. Probably won't have to do that the next time. So all right. It is very slow on this other screen. I'm just trying to get my email code there. There we go. All right. At last, the code. All right, so let's see. 20. Okay, so now that you're logged in, again, this is the integration steps between the two platforms. And we are going to start off on the Salesforce side. And we will go to, waiting for it, the suspense. Things are clearly working on. I guess I should be grateful because it's going through apparently Starlink on the cruise ship and coming through. Woohoo! There we go. All right, we shall allow it to load. Well, one thing's for sure that's really helpful is it's going to be at a slow enough pace where everybody should be able to keep up pretty well. I won't be going too fast. Okay, over here where we have Cody, the icon for Cody. Actually, no, we're going to come over to the gear. 2 over from Cody, we're going to click on this gear, the setup gear, and then we'll come down to setup. Okay, so within setup, there is a search box on the upper left over in this area right here. It's going to pop up there. So there is the search box. Sound still coming through okay? Everybody good? Okay, cool, thanks. Okay, in the quick find, we're going to type in Anypoint, like Anypoint platform, Anypoint. So if you just start typing it, you'll see it come up, Anypoint platform setup. Okay. So as it launches into the Anypoint platform setup, you can close down any of this information that's popping up on your screen because it's a new account. You can go back and fix that later. In the, you want to come over on the right-hand side of your screen where it says complete the connection. Okay, complete the connection. Go ahead and click on complete the connection, and you're going to see in the center of this window that pops up your Salesforce org tenant key. And you're going to click on the clipboard here and copy that Salesforce org tenant key into your clipboard. Then we're going to mouse over the Anypoint platform tab. Should be another tab that's open for you. Come down and go ahead and click and open the Anypoint platform tab of your browser. And likewise, there's a gear on the right-hand side. Click on the gear on Anypoint platform and come down to access management. Access management. And in access management on the left-hand side, you're going to see an option on the left that is Salesforce. Go ahead and click on Salesforce. And I purposely left these other Salesforce connections here because I wanted you to see that you can have multiple Salesforce orgs connected to one given Anypoint platform account. So maybe you have Marketing Cloud, maybe you have the core, the Sales Cloud, maybe you have, you know, different clouds. Well, you know, Service Cloud, you can connect those different cloud instances to the same Anypoint platform account. Very cool. Okay, so on this page, on the, you might have an option that says, do you want to enable or allow? What is it? Someone go ahead and unmute and tell me what you guys see. I've already done mine. There's a select here. What's it say? Yes, you can. Jade, mostly because Anypoint platform is, you know, it will connect to Sandbox or Prod. Yes. Yes. Okay. So you may have a selection here that clicks yes to Einstein or something like that. So FYI, if you do, go ahead. And then you come down to add Salesforce org. Add Salesforce org. And this pops up a new window. And here is where you're going to paste what was in your clipboard from Salesforce. This is the Salesforce org tenant key. Okay, and we'll click on add. Okay, click on add. And now we're just going to name this connection. So I'm going to do SFDC. I commonly do that. And I'm going to say Vibes. You know, for me, I'll know what this one was from. So this is Vibes Study Group. Okay. Professionally, we would have it named something different, like this is Salesforce Marketing Cloud, or this is Salesforce Service Cloud, or whatever it is. That way you would be more specific as to which org you just connected that to. And then we'll click on add. Okay, and now center of this window, there's another copy, which this one is Anypoint Platform org key. We want to copy it. So this is the Anypoint key. Copy it, and then you're going to mouse over that Salesforce window or browser tab that's still open. Go ahead and click on it, and then we're going to come down to the bottom section and paste that Anypoint Platform org ID here. Okay, and then we'll click on connect. Okay, so once you pasted that in, click on connect. And this is where it's making that, it's doing that handshake that we saw. You should get a green banner that everything was okay. You should see your credentials here. It associated your Anypoint Platform account with this Salesforce new org. All right, so that part's done. Scroll down on this page and notice Enable Agentforce in Anypoint Platform. You want to turn that enabled. You want to toggle this on. Toggle that on. Okay. How's everybody doing? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know how it's going. Everybody okay so far? Still hearing me? Okay. Good, good. Checking on logistics. All right. All right. Okay. All right. Good to know. Good to know. Nothing I can do about it. Doors open. The tinfoil is out the window. Okay. Our next thing we need to do is upper left. We're going to search for Einstein setup. EINSTEIN setup. Einstein setup. Einstein setup. It is now on by default. That's good. Sometimes when we spin up these orgs, that is not turned on, but you do want to make sure that it is turned on. Okay, so checking that. The next thing we want to do, come up here to our search box in the upper left, type in agent, and we want to come down to Agentforce agents. Agentforce agents. And here we're also going to turn this on as well. Come on, there we go. This one is toggled off. We want to toggle that on. Okay, toggle that on. And now it is ready for us to use later also. We will do another study group on this as well. Our focus is on Vibes today, but we're going to do more on this later. Okay, so Salesforce side is good. Now we're going to go back to Anypoint Platform tab. Go back to the Anypoint Platform tab. And we're going to say, we're going to go ahead and close this window that's open where we got our Anypoint Platform org key. Go ahead and close that. And then we want to also scroll down. Now yours is probably just the only one listed, but notice mine is now listed here, right? For the Vibes study group. And over on the far right, it says, so you do not allow the Salesforce org to import APIs. We're going to slide that over and enable this. Okay, see where it says disabled? We're going to slide the toggle over And when you slide it over, a new window pops up. In this window, we're going to click on continue. It's asking what business group. If you had an organization that had many different business groups created here, you could choose which business groups you would like for this to functionality to be present in. So on a trial account, you're only going to have one, but you could choose different business groups here, and we'll click on save settings. Save settings. Okay. So come down, you should have two green, but wrong, not that one. Should have two green checks in that window for your setup. All right. So the next thing we need to do, so this has completed that integration. So the integration part is completed, and that's what this slide kind of shows high level that we accomplished this. So our next order of business is to talk about how this works in Visual Code Studio. So I want you to go ahead and launch Visual Code Studio, okay, or Anypoint Code Builder, however you want to reference it. So we're going to go ahead and launch it. Mine's already launched. Here we go. Now, now mine is going to have these two icons here already because I've already previously logged in with my credentials for my trial account that had the integration part completed. But notice I am currently, let's see, I'm logged in. Okay, but notice you have to be signed in to your account in order for the AI features. I'm going to go ahead and sign out for a minute. Okay. I guess I am signed out. Let me sign in. Continue with Google. I don't think I have mine set up with that. And I'm going to continue with my account here on the other screen, signing in. Oh, it's signing into GitHub. No. I don't want it to do GitHub right now. Nope. Stop. Cancel. I want it to sign in with Anypoint Platform. Yeah, I hit the wrong key. Sorry. Okay, so let me log out from Anypoint Platform. Yeah, all right. Yeah, there's GitHub populated into mine too. I already got GitHub happening here. So not logged into Anypoint Platform, which is what you will probably see. And then we can come here and click on the login, and it wants to sign into Anypoint Platform. We want to allow this, and we want to open the external website. Okay, my other screen is now ready for me to log in with my credentials for the Anypoint Platform trial account that I created. So this is where you want to use your Anypoint Platform trial account that we created to do our Anypoint Code Builder, right? And let's see if my password, no, that's not right. This should be. Okay, so once you're logged into Anypoint Platform, allow it. Notice it's saying, do you want to allow the extension? We're going to say allow it. And what that should do is it should activate your Mule, Anypoint Code Builder, and the MuleSoft Vibes. That's what should activate it. That login and handshake should allow those to appear. So let me do a question. Yeah, go ahead. Did yours appear? Do you see that it added? Let's see. Or did you see the question in the chat? Don't see any Anypoint Platform.
Yes,
Do I follow the? Go ahead, RJ, if you want to answer that.
Yeah, if you wind up following that YouTube video, it'll show you how to get Anypoint Code Builder brought onto your platform. And you're almost there, it looks like. If I'm understanding correctly, I believe you are almost there.
Yeah, so that would be the part that is part of the Anypoint Code Builder setup, adding the extensions. You've got to add all of the MuleSoft extensions, but when you log into the Anypoint platform from here, it will bring Vibes into Anypoint Code Builder. You'll see this icon. So let's go ahead, those of you that have this showing, click on that Vibes icon and notice what we're seeing here. Okay, so now we're seeing Einstein, we're seeing Vibes, we're seeing, you know, our icon here of an agent, and we have some various things that I'm going to point out to you. Let me do the slides real quick. So how this works in Vibes, just like when we're dealing with any kind of an AI platform, we give it a prompt, we work with it. It's very intuitive. I will show you how it knows what to ask us for, because there is actually an MCP server that comes built in, as you can see here, built into Vibes. And so it's going to ask us in the planning phase what it needs, and then it will create, when we tell it to, it will create the code that it has generated. So pretty impressive of how all of that works. So moving ahead here, the MCP server is just that. It's got built-in operations that are fine-tuned for us to use within Vibes. And it will even tell us as it is going through the process which, you know, operations it's using, how it's coming to the conclusions or questions that it's asking us. So again, this MCP server is built right into this. So let me show you in Anypoint Code Builder here how you can take a look at what I'm showing you on the screen there. So if you see the icon here and you come down to the MCP server is active, you can click on that. Go ahead and click on that. And notice there's a server drop down below, and there's a gear on the right, and you can click that gear open and then open up this little arrow to the left of the MuleSoft MCP server. And there's where you can see all of the operations, all of the, you know, what it's going to use for different planning phases, communication with it, and then also when it builds out your code, all within here. So very detailed of this MCP server. That is what is the brain and communication that's communicating with from our Anypoint Code Builder and even the Anypoint platform, and it will be building out our what we're asking it to do. And you're going to ask it to first create a MuleSoft flow. So let's click done here in the top of looking at this MCP server. We're not changing anything here. We're just looking at what it is. And so this MCP server, like I said, is kind of the brain behind a lot of this. And then again, we will start off with a plan. We're going to be working in the plan mode, interacting with it and telling it what we want it to do in natural language. Then as it goes forward, again, it's going to tell us what it is, what actions it's taking here, what it's doing, how it's planning it out. And then we can switch it over. As you see on the right here, there's an act mode. That act mode is then going to, when we switch it over into act mode, is going to immediately build out our code. Okay, so there's this little at the bottom of our text box where we enter in our prompts. There's a plan or an act. Okay, so that's what you're going to see and do. So are you ready? Here we go. Let's get hands on keyboard and work with Vibes. So I'm going to go full screen here. And again, notice down at the bottom here, by default, mine is on act. I'm going to switch it to plan. So come down here to the bottom and switch this over on the plan side. Okay. And we did this. I always love to do this because it's kind of nostalgic. It's kind of always been the case of adding our very first application that we're going to have this create. And so in our task here, we're going to just type in natural language that says, let's create a Mule application called my very first Mule application using Vibes called Hello World. Okay. And, you know, each of us might get something different because we're interacting with the AI MCP server, and it may come back with different questions or solutioning as we go. So this is going to be interesting. We all might get a little bit different results here. Let's create our first Mule application using Vibes called Hello World. Okay, and then you just hit enter, send that in. Oh, it's wanting a workspace. Let's create, yeah, we need to create a workspace. I skipped over one thing. Oops. All right, so to create the workspace, let me see, it may do this for us. Let's see if this will do it for us. Cannot access workspace directory. Yeah, it does. Let's see if it's going to go forward because it did do something here. It says it'll help us create our first Mule application. Let me gather some information. So now it's going to be prompting us and asking us questions in this phase. So it says we want it to generate from scratch without a template. Okay, because we're going to proceed on this. I want to generate from scratch. Okay, so choose that one. Just click on it. All right, and now it's going to continue on. It may actually make that workspace for us. Let me see. Let me see what it's going to do. All right, Agentforce has a question. So see, it's interacting with us here. We're going to go back and forth. It says, great, I'll help you create the Hello World Mule app from scratch. And now it wants to know, what would you like to name your project? Where would you like the project created? What is the functionality? So if we just keep clicking on one of these, let's go ahead and do, we want a REST API so that we can send in the request to it. Or look down here, you can tell it exactly what you wanted. If you had specifications that you really wanted to be very detailed about, this is your chance. We're just going to keep letting it do this. So let's do REST API that returns the hello world when called. Okay, so I clicked on that, it's thinking, it's going back, and it's going to come back with more. Perfect, it says, now I have enough information. So now it's telling me what it did. Look at this. All right, so it's telling me what it did. Project name is Hello World Mule, and the location is on my directory. Oh, so it may be creating that. That's cool. Then the HTTP listener, the REST endpoint is a GET request for hello for the endpoint. It's going to return the JSON response with hello world. That's cool. Basic error handling. Wow. Nice. All right. So here we can see our file structure. We've got a pom.xml that is going to create. Again, like a normal Mule app, we have source main Mule with a global. It's creating a global XML for us. I love it already. Our hello world flow, our resources, and look, an unit test. How cool. Okay, so coming down further, it says it's ready. It's like, I know what you want now. Here's your response message, hello world. Okay, cool. Let's switch over to, if you click on the hyperlink for the act mode, it'll automatically switch it at the bottom. But notice it's at the bottom down here too. Just click on the act mode. Okay, once we do, notice it changed it down here, and then just hands off keyboard, sit back and watch it work. Because now what it's going to do is it's going to generate our code. Let's see. Now, another thing I want to point out to you is that in the act mode on the left, you can set it to auto approve anything from the MCP server. I am choosing to tell it what to do. And the reason I am is I want to show you everything it's asking me. So it's saying, okay, Agentforce has questions, the project name, the project path, and I'm going to say, yes, create the project with all the defaults. I could also, change this if I wanted to, but let's go ahead and click this project, create this project with the default. Okay, so I've clicked on that. It's thinking, like I said, it does so much more than what we're showing here. But we're starting with baby steps. I'm down to approve. Okay, mine has said it's failed to create it. Path does not exist. I think it's going to recover and go through the process of creating those. Come on, you can do it. There we go. Okay, so now it's wanting to approve. Yeah, I know it doesn't exist. You're supposed to create it. We'll see if it does. If not, we can create it. Create the project in the correct location. Approve. All right, we're going to go create the project. Copy the project name. We should have created a workspace, which I didn't. So let's come over to the Explorer in the upper left and open a folder and go to, I think I've got mine at the root of C is where I put mine. And I've got some things here. I'm going to create a new folder and I'm going to do ACB and do study group. Okay. And then select folder here. Let's see if it's going to like this now. And if now it's under the ACB study group. And if I go back to MuleSoft Vibes, it should still have everything that we worked on. Allow. Did it forget everything? Goodness. All right. Yep. It did remove everything we had. Because we created a new workspace. Wow. Okay. So I'm going to start over again real quick. Create a Mule app called Hello World. Sorry about that. We should have done that folder, the workspace at the beginning. But I think it still has a little bit of a hiccup even when we do this. Oh, it's in the act phase too. Well, that's okay. It's going right into act on mine. Let's go straight into act. Okay, so I want to generate from scratch without a template. So this is kind of cool to see. I love how we end up tripping into something as you can go right into act. All right, project. There it is. Hello world. Create the project with defaults. Now it should find this workspace. Approve. All right, looking better. There's some of the details. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, generate flows based on my original request. Or notice you could have other things defined if you wanted to. I mean, it kind of knows, or I should say it's figured out what hello world actually means, which is kind of like a get request and giving back, the hello world back to it. So we see what it is creating here. pom.xml, source main mule. So it's actually doing the code. We're going to start seeing it drop the code on the right here. But like I said, you can auto approve certain things. When I'm teaching or doing demos of it, I leave it set to ask me. Okay, now it's wanting to know, do we want to know as with a listener, scheduler, whatever. So we're going to do an HTTP listener, the first one. So you see your other options: scheduler, file listener, database listener. Okay, and then come down to approve when you see the HTTP details there. So it's essentially coding for us. Now, at first trying to figure it out and getting it to work and all these things, there are going to be a couple extra steps But let me tell you, when we get into some of the more comprehensive and more challenging, code, it will just zip it up. It'll put it out. Okay, and notice the comments here. Agentforce wants to use a tool on the MCP server to do such and such. So it's interacting with the MCP server. That's how it knows to ask us all these different things. Okay. So here it's got the HTTP connector. We have a logger. Okay, I'd like to proceed with the let's see, required connectors, built-in processors, logger, set payload. Yeah, there's a set payload there. Okay, good. All right, and let's tell it, mine has got a set payload. Now yours might be using a transform message. I'm gonna say change the set payload processor to a transform message. Okay, there's a reason, because we're going to do data weave too. Okay, so I'm telling it, notice it in mine. Now yours might have transform message. It's going to be a little different. You know how AI will produce different results. I'm asking it to change it. Let's see, I'm going to send that in. I told it to change the set payload processor to a transform message. All right, and it did. Look at that now. In the built-in processors, we have a logger. It says transform message, data weave for hello world message. All right, and I'm ready to proceed. Yes, I would like to proceed with generation. Okay, now it's going to build the code. How's everybody doing? Doing good? Is it working? All right. Click on approve for any of the parts that it needs to do to generate the code. You'll notice what the tool at the top also, it's using generate mule flow. Really read through what it's doing, and it will help you understand how that MCP server is functioning. It's taking your natural language, it's modifying and building out what we're creating. All right, notice the code's being built on the right. All right, you may get a pop-up about the root. I'll try to hold that for a second when mine comes up again. I don't know why that's popping up. One of my Anypoint Code Builder experts is out right now, and I can't wait for her to come back. So I need to ask her some questions on this. It must be, Mule Project must be at the workspace root. When I determine why that's doing that, or if someone in the room knows why that's doing it, let me know, because it still is functional, but I don't know why it keeps saying this. So anyway, it's creating our code. On the left-hand side, you'll see the hello world.xml. You'll see our global XML. You'll see our POM files being created. Quite cool. This is our config.properties file. So what if you wanted to do, instead of config.properties, you wanted to do config YAML file or something like that? You could tell it in the configuration, what you wanted to use. So you have that ability. And as it finishes out, you'll see that it will have concluded, the process. Come on. There we go. Okay, so here is it should have completed. All right, and here is our hello world application. If we click right under hello world, if we click down to the source, and then the main, and then the mule, source main mule, there is our global XML and our hello world XML. So go ahead and click on the hello world XML, and here is your flow. Here's your processors that it created for you. Okay, so we have some error handling here. We've got our HTTP listener. If you click on that, you'll see the path. So copy that. That's your path when we send in the request to hello world. Okay. And if you have a client application on your system, go ahead and launch that and that will be the path that we're going to send in the request to. So you want to have the localhost 8081. There we go. Localhost 8081 hello world. It's not running right now, so don't send it in, but that's going to be our path for our listener. And then we're going to take a look at our transform message. All right, right now it's just very simple. Okay, wow, that's just it, right? But you know, that is a transform message for us. So we have that there. And then our logger is set to give us our payload. Okay, so it's going to have the payload in our console in our logs. So let's say that we want more than this of a message for our hello world. Okay, we want more than that. So let's go back to Vibes. Let's go back to Vibes. And now we want to say, let's create like what we want. Here's our goal: is we want a more advanced data weave block of code. Okay, and we want it to produce a better output. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and say update the transform message with a more detailed hello world message. And let's see, make it be happy and joyful with today's day, date, and time. Okay, I know we have now there's a timestamp there, but we're telling it to be happy and joyful, or you can say make it sound like a pirate, or you can make it say whatever you want it to say in natural language. Send it. Okay, so now it should come back and say, okay, I see you're in the transform message. When I did this before a couple times, it will find where I'm at, what application I'm working on. Here it goes. I'll help you update the transform message. And now it's editing that and it's modifying this. All right, so it wants to know, can I execute this? Again, I've got it pausing. You don't have to have yours pausing if you don't want. That's up to you. All right, build was successful, approve. Okay, so now it has all kind of different, it says the joyful features that were added. Let's see what it's going to have for us. It's using the now function. Okay, start. Let's see. All right, it seems like it has completed the task. So that's good. And how we can see up here, the application has been compiled successfully, is ready to run. When you hit that endpoint, you're going to get a joyful response that celebrates this beautiful Thursday, April 21st. Mine says up here what it's going to say. So let's go ahead and run this application up here. Now it's not showing here. That's kind of interesting, I guess, because it had not been, let's close that transform message down. And let's come up here to file and save, just so that we save everything here. And I don't think it's going to, yeah, it's not doing anything there. Okay, let's run without debugging. Okay, so it's already built. You'll watch your console down here in the bottom. Okay, so it should build. There's launching the JVM. And then once it has deployed, mine is showing deployed, I will send in the requests. All right, that's the original. I want it updated. Why did it not update? Task complete. Successfully updated the transform message. Why is it not updated in here? Let's go back to our Mule app and see if it needs a different that should have updated. With the new transform message. Why it's not showing there? There is a hello world 1. For some reason, it's not showing the update there. We did save it. What is this here? We have a bug here. No, that's the debugger. Okay. And going back to this, that should have updated this. Auto approve. Yeah. It's waiting to start a new task here. So that's not going to be what we really wanted. I'm overlooking something. Transfer message would be different. Oh, all right. I gotta figure out why it didn't update it. It should have. And so for whatever reason, it didn't. At any rate, that's what a study group's all about. We get to troubleshoot these things. I'm going to ask it, why is my new transform message not showing when I run this? So we'll get it to troubleshoot for us. I thought I saw a hello world 1, but I'm not seeing it here, nor am I seeing it here. So it didn't necessarily update it on here. Let's see what it's going to say. So now it's saying, okay, I'll help you troubleshoot it. It's figuring it out. Let me check the global configuration. Did yours update? Put in the chat if yours updated. Sound coming through okay? Sounds great. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, that should have updated. Not sure why it didn't. Oh, connection issue. Retry. Now that is a result of probably the internet connection. Now our first flow worked on mine. That's cool. But where I asked it to update our transform message, that did not update. I'll close that for right now. Did it give us a new flow? No, we just have the one flow. Okay. Interesting. Failed to run locally. So anyway, we're troubleshooting now. We're using the feature where we can troubleshoot issues with Vibes. All right, so that can be updated. Not a problem. Approve. So, you know, it's all about the troubleshooting fun. All right, run. You know, I wonder if it's my internet that's given some trouble on some of this. There are some problems here. Compiler, so it, plugin is not working as it should. All right, man. I know I've got Java running. Now I'm getting in the weeds here completely. Java. Okay, what I'm going to do is hunt in Java version. I know I've got the new version on here. I don't know why Anypoint Code Builder is not seeing it. But there's yeah, see how it's bringing up 17.0.17. I love this. Look at the troubleshooting now. Maven clean compile. See it? Maven clean compile. So it's doing Maven commands now from the MCP server. Okay, so the build was successful. That's good. Maven mule run. All right. Could not find run. Okay, well, it's not finding that. That's okay. Let me see if I can run it here. Let's see if it will do. So I'm building now from the run up top here. So it's trying to troubleshoot that out for me and then tried to use a Maven command to run it. We'll see what this is going to do. All right, so I wanted the data weave to be more comprehensive. Let's see if it's going to deploy the changes. No, it's actually the previous changes. Okay, let me see. I'm going to press on here. We've got another, what, 12 minutes? All right, so update the transform message to be more detailed with day, date, time, and joyful. I gotta add the joyful, that just makes me laugh. All right, let's see what it's gonna do. Reinforce wants to edit this file. Oh, wow, look at that. Did you? Okay. Yes, do. Okay, now, okay, check out my XML code. Hello, world. Welcome to the amazing day. Now that's what I'm talking about. All right, so now it's compiling. Look, Maven clean compile. So it's going to compile that. So now I see my code has been modified here. That's good. Clean compile is compiling. Should build success. Now it may try to run it from here. We'll see. There it is. All right. Joyful message. That's better. All right. Yay. Build success. View changes. All right. Cool. Did it deploy? Let's run it. Run without debugging. Start new. Okay, and now when we send it in, we should get, it seems to have worked on mine. I hope it's gonna. JVM, it's almost there. Deploy, send in the request. Yes. All right, so our data we've got modified. Hello world, welcome to the amazing day. Hope your day is filled with sunshine and happiness. We have some of the details here. All right, did yours work? Cool. Okay, I was able to create a Mule app, the Hello World app. I was able to modify my data weave code to something different. You know, you could give it the specifications. Here's my input, here's my output. I mean, this thing can handle that. All right, let's do one other thing here. Let's come down here to our terminal and Control C. This should stop it from running. Not that it matters. There's still some problems. I'd have to check that out. I think it's trying to pull in a different Java. But anyway, all right, let's have it on a new task. Let's say create munit tests for this application. Boom. Okay, so let's see what this does. So if we look back now, what we're seeing on the right is the XML code. We should be able to see that transform message. Yep, there it is. That's what I was looking for before. We should be able to see the transform message here that has been modified. There. All right, so now it's going to create a unit test. So as of right now, under source main test, MUnit, there are no MUnit tests there at this present time. At least on mine, they weren't. You may have told yours to do it in advance and yours may have it. But mine is creating them now. I can see the MUnit code here. I can see we've got the MUnit tools, assert that. I see some in this code here, so it's working on it. 8 more minutes. We will have a mule flow that we had it create the flow. We had it modify our data weave code. We will have MUnit tests ready for us. Let's see what we have. Oh, network connection. Yeah, that's my internet. Okay. Sound's still coming in okay. I'm just a little worried about that. Yeah, cool. Okay. All right, so it's creating our MUnit tests now. POM files being updated. I see stuff going on down here. I don't know. I'm not going to mess with that. It might fix these other problems, but I want to keep our focus on the MUnit tests and stuff that it's doing. So this is Vibes. Vibes is creating all this code for us. Do we want to synchronize? Gosh, quit asking me that. I'm tempted to click it. Anyway, notice what we have got that has happened over here. Our POM file has been updated. We have, you can see the plugin for MUnit. All right. I do believe it's almost ready. It is thinking about it though. Okay, now it wants us to Maven clean compile, click run command. So this is a terminal. This is where Anypoint Code Builder is putting those commands. Oh, errors. Ugh, it's unhappy. Ow. My goodness. Let's see what it does about that. Wants to create a new file. So it's creating the MUnit test suite. All right, that's good. Source test MUnit, that's where it will reside. Yes, making some changes here. Something went sideways, so it's updating some of this. There's all of the expressions. Assert that expression. We're asserting various things here. All right. And let's see what it's going to do here. Where are we at? Yeah, we got 5 minutes. Come on, Vibes. You can do it. Almost there. It's working on it. Now it's wanting to do a Maven clean. Let's see. Go ahead and run. See if it's going to be happy this time. But we can see our XML code. Check that out. That's our MUnit code right there. Yeah, it's still having an issue here. I don't know why that's doing that. But anyway, let's look at our code. We can go to our code. I'm going to click on the File Explorer up here on the upper left. And I want to come down to Source Test MUnit. And if you click on, I've got mine is open. But if what you want to navigate to under here is Source Test MUnit. And there is your MUnit suite. Now this is what it created. Check it out. Assert that the data is present, assert that all this is done. Yeah, that's very nice. Okay, so it is doing some things in the behavior area. We've got behavioral things done to set things initially. We're executing our flow, our hello world flow, and then we're validating after the fact. And ta-da, there is your MUnit test. I'm going to stop there. I don't know why the build is failing. It's probably, if yours is, it may have something to do with the, I noticed there's updates here that need to be updated that I didn't want to dive into right now. And then mine keeps having some Java hiccups. But at any rate, you can see how Vibes is working. Now, the next study group, I'll queue up creating a specification, which is what we did at the Atlanta meetup workshop. and create. So we'll come in and create a specification, and we'll use that specification with a MuleSoft flow as our interface, create the implementation with a database connector in it, and deploy it all to Cloud Hub. So there you have it. There you have it. Let me go back to our last slide just because it's funny. MuleSoft Vibes, look at you building like a pro. Told you Vibes had your back. It's just the beginning. More build skills wins, and well done. So nicely done, folks. All right.
Very good. Great work. That was awesome. You got it going. Yours was running really well. Mine was still doing the Java thing where it was wanting to fix Java. And that's all right. We're doing C and stuff. So you did awesome. Thank you so much for coming and presenting on that today. Very good. It's question answer time. You may be muted now. There you go. You're unmuted.
Yeah.
Yep. It's question answer time. Come on and ask your questions. Anyone, feel free to ask. We didn't have any questions while we were going through. So if you've got any questions in the queue, now is the time to ask them.
Yep, and it may be a bumpy ride at first, it's a newer product, but let's keep working with it. And I want you to share different things that you've learned, like how you got it to do, maybe different MUnit tests or maybe different data weave, so let's share and collaborate.
That's right.
Cue me up, RJ, for part 2 of this on my next time when I'm teaching or when I'm scheduled to do the study group, and we'll keep going with it.
Definitely. We sure will. Yeah, that'll be great. Maybe in a few weeks, we'll do that. If nobody has any questions, I'll go ahead and just announce what I do know about next week. There is going to be somebody that's he's been here before. He's presented before, and he's going to be back. It's Vincent Lowe. He was in Kajabi. He said he wasn't going to be able to hang out all throughout today's study group. We'll catch it in the recording. And we'll get him in here next week. And the topic is to be announced, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. Karthik, to answer your question, you're asking how do we get to the recording? We're going to put that on YouTube. So it'll be in the Integration Quest YouTube library. I'll go ahead and grab you a link to that really quick and put it here in the chat if you'd like. So that way you have it. We'll get this moved over to we had the link over in Kajabi, and we'll get it moved over here. So that way you've got it. Here we go. Coming to you. So this is where it's going to be, and you'll get me the recording. So just, get me the recording. That way I can move it over because you'll have access to it. I won't have access this time. You'll have to get it to me, and then there's really nothing to clean up. Everything went well. I mean, for what it was, it did. I didn't see anything. I looked at my notes. I don't have any edit this out or anything. So good job.
Good.
Excellent. Well, that's next week. Yeah, that's next week. And then just thank you. Thank you everyone for attending. Thank you everyone for coming out. And thank you, Suma, when she was leaving, she said, thank you so much for doing this even while you're on vacation. So yeah, exactly. That's huge. Thank you for recognizing that, Suma. And thank you for being here and doing this.
My pleasure. My pleasure. When you love what you do, it's not like work. I'd rather do this than be playing bingo or watching the belly flop contest or it's fun.
That's exactly right. You got it. All right.
All right, folks. Enjoy.